this piece of art, I actually just wrote the word mum repeatedly, as you can see, with the orange background until the entire canvas was covered, and then I went over some lines. And what's really interesting is there's no mum figure here at all. There's a bird here to the right with what looks like tracks up to letters AR, and there's a letter A on what looks like Father Christmas's hat. Father Christmas obviously also being St. Nicholas. Now, I'm not aware of AR in my family. It's definitely not my mum's initials. There's another A up here, and AR appears quite frequently in some of my paintings. So something I need to look into a bit more. What's fun is that there's like a flying figure here. But what I'm particularly interested in is this character, who I believe is the actual St. Nicholas. So we've got here Father Christmas and here St. Nicholas. So same figure, but sort of their stories have been sort of merged when they were separate characters. So St. Nicholas was a real character, from what I understand is well documented. He's here like wearing the robes of a bishop with the cross on. There's a story that he was thrown out of the Council of Nicaea. Whether or not he actually slapped someone is up for debate. But he was stripped, apparently put in a cell and prayed, and then I believe it was Mary appeared and gave him back his robes. So that, I think, is possibly what this is depicting. He's holding this pole, which I think is actually a pun, the North Pole, and the representation of like Polaris, for example, which the North Pole was associated obviously with Father Christmas. And then behind him, because he was quite often depicted in art carrying the gospel, I did wonder whether or not there is a book that is perhaps missing in a vault somewhere, that is actually his written record. Who knows? And then there's a bird here, and I'm not sure if this is a little child, because there is this story that he would manifest or create money or gold or whatever it was out of nowhere. If there was like a child in need, for example, I think there's a story of like 3 girls who he provides gold for. I wondered if the bird was a stork, which represents the house of David, although there's no connection that I could find between him and the house of David. But what's really interesting is he's actually riding on what looks like a snake.